right, good morning. Thank you so much for staying with the program. You're watching Morning Cafe. This morning, as you can already tell, we are in a different location and we are very much honored to be hosted at the residence of former Deputy President, that is Rigathi Gachagua. We are here to talk about issues that are very important. That is the role of the boy child empowerment. We do understand that the girl child has been talked much about in regards to the empowering the girl child, but what about the boy child? And what better way to have this conversation than the former second lady, that is Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, who is without a doubt very passionate about matters of the boy child. Thank you so much for hosting us. This is Morning Cafe. Karibu sana. How are you this morning?
I'm well,
Yes.
and welcome all of you. I know it is a cold morning, and you can see the noises are all around. That's the life of a boy child up the hill.
All right, interesting. We already started on a very high note, as you can already tell. We do have Richard Ziwa Zimbalist, a counselor. He's not new to the program. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You're well?
Much. Yes, I am.
All right, and because this conversation is not about programs and policies only, we do have a live audience who are indeed going to bring life into this conversation. Young boys and girls, what do they think about the role of the boy child in the society? Are we doing enough to promote the boy child and to empower the boy child? That is the conversation we are having this morning. I want us to dive right in, Pastor Dorcas, and I'm going to call you Mama Boys, if that's okay with you. You are very vocal about the plight of the boy child, and this, came to light during your time as the second lady. I don't know where you think or how you think we are doing as of 2025 in regards to just empowering the quest and the plights of the boy child.
Thank you very much, and I think you have just how we are doing, and I think we are doing very badly. You just need to look at the environment, and you just need to look at the young men out there. What are they saying? How are they progressing? And you'll know that as a country, even not only this country but across the world, we are doing very badly when it comes to the plight of the boy child. Many people ask themselves whether it is about equity or equality, but I can tell you it is about divine order. God created male and female and blessed both to increase, to multiply, to prevail, and to be able to pursue their purpose and dream and become what they are supposed to be. But when you look around, you find men with broken dreams, you find men who are frustrated, you find depressed young men who are supposed to be vibrant. The boy child, as I always say, is a seed carrier. And the happiness, the joy, and the future is in the seed. And you produce after your own kind. If you find frustrated fathers, frustrated men, you are going to produce frustrated families and dysfunctional families. And therefore, I can say, as we sit where I sit, we need to do a lot, and it is never enough. What we need is to daily cultivate a way of addressing the plight of the boy child as we do for the girl child. And perhaps you'll be asking, why the boy child? The boy child happens to be the seed carrier, as I've said. And without the boy child, I don't think the girl will be able to get the joy and the completeness or the complementary partner that they need. I was just asking myself, if you really get a girl who has a house, has a car and all that, and then you get another man who is in the gutter there, and they have not gone to school, and then they meet up and they are going somewhere, what do you think is going to happen? You are going to find a couple, all a relationship that is going to generate gender-based violence. Because that girl, instead of being an asset, the boy will be looking at that girl as a threat. And that's why I'm saying, when I speak about the boy child, I'm actually advocating the case for the girl child.
Oh, interesting. And of course, we are hoping to be here once again at some other time to talk about the role of the girl child. You bring in a very important point. But Richard, Pastor Dorcas here is talking about how it's she asked the question that why the boy child, and now the question that most are asking is that why is the empowerment of the boy child so controversial?
Thank you, my friend. Like Your Excellency has mentioned, and I think taking note of what her organization stands for, I like one particular quote in her branding, a dignified future. You cannot ignore the need to place emphasis on the point. There's a need for a dignified future for the young man. If there's any boy child out there that someone has not placed emphasis, it is time for them to do that, because you can't ignore the need for their education, the need for social skills, the need for them to learn how to forge and clarify the direction they are going. And there are people who need to help them in that particular direction, to model that life, because it's hard to follow a particular lifestyle that you've not been able to imitate from someone. You need to observe someone who could come alongside them to show them this is the direction we're going. Like Mama is talking about the boy child. I think there's a need for men to come alongside to help to model this life. There's a need to raise the consciousness to support the boy child, to foster growth in the life of a boy child. I had the privilege to be in 2 prisons this week. Last Saturday I was in Kamiti. This Thursday I was in Machakos, and I saw 2 prisons. One is for the women, the other was for the men. The numbers that were in the men were alarming, that is in Kamiti. The number that were in the Machakos, I call them Machakos girls, they were only 65. The numbers I found towards the men was ridiculous. And that tells you there's a responsibility and a call for us to raise the consciousness to support the boy child. Because if you ignore the boy child, you're causing chaos ahead. You're procrastinating trouble ahead. I was driving to the studios and passed through USIU. I ask every parent, if you have a child in USIU University, there's a need for you to check out what happens on Thursday at USI. I won't tell you more. Just drive by. Every Thursday, you'll tell me what needs to be done. There's a need for a boy child to be helped. Yeah.
How did you come to that conclusion, Richard? Just to give us a hint of what is happening, so that we're not left with
they were
suspense.
drinking and raving all through the night, and it has become a cultural experience every Thursday night. You're caught up in traffic in that particular location. Not because these guys are going to university. It's because of social problems, the drinking and alcoholic problem. And I think Mama would agree. We have too many drunkard men and drunkard young men. And this begins at that age quadrant, when they're transitioning from university into a place of responsibility, where they become fathers tomorrow, husband to someone tomorrow. And to tell the honest truth, we have a crisis and it needs to be redressed. I cannot procrastinate it.
All right, Your Excellency, I know you're passionate about rescuing the boy child from, drugs, alcoholism, which you've seen you do, of course. And the councillor here is talking about what's happening with university boys. Do you think this is something of concern, really? And what attributes to this?
In fact, he has raised a very pertinent issue about why you find the raving. You see, he has spoken about the boy child, but I'm very sure if you go there, alongside that boy child is a girl.
Oh, yes.
It is the same case that when people brought an adulteress, they forgot there was a man. For there is nobody who can commit an adultery without a man. So sometimes I think it is a difficult situation for the men. One, I would like to go back to parenthood, because parenting of a boy is very different from parenting the girl child. Every time you go to any home, you will find the rules that are set for the boy are different from those ones which are set in the same house. The affection, the love that is shown towards a girl is different from the love that is shown to the boy child. And you find that from the very beginning, socially, culturally, religious. Every place you find that boys' rules are set, and they are very tough. They are not kind of being introduced to being able to connect with their emotions. And therefore, they get disconnected from the very early age. Where you come, you are told a man is not supposed to cry. When you do, you speak, you are told you are talking like a woman. When you try to, to express yourself, you are told you are like a sissy and all that. And therefore, they are closed up with their emotions and they cannot connect. When the father comes in the evening, and there is a boy and there is a girl, and you'll see the father will come first and hug the girl, and when the boy is expecting similar, affection, he's told where, and then you find actually he becomes envious because the sister is there. He's hugged, "Mommy, how are you?" and everything, and so they start to develop the confidence. The girl now, the confidence, while the other one starts to have insecurities, and that insecurity, disconnection with the emotions, continues whether you are in the rural or you are in the urban area. You find that men, every responsibility to be hard, very hard, maybe like a piece of wood is a man's issue, but to be soft and to be loved and to be taken care of is a girl issue. And that's why you see that frustration comes because this boy has never been allowed to speak, to express their emotions, so they bottle them, all of them up. And you only know when they express it by violence or by committing suicide. Because one, they have no friends, they don't speak, they do not have that disposition of, just simply like women. I'll tell you, when we were, we had 4 brothers and we were 4 girls. And as we would sit as girls and gossip and all that, yeah, my mother was there. She would come and we would tell her about the things that we are experiencing. But my dad was always working. He was not there. And that's why we're asking, where are the fathers? And if father model is not there, father to speak to the boy, there are things a mother will speak but to a boy, and there are things fathers need to speak to their boys. But today, fathers are busy trying to get things for the family, trying to make the family our ends meet, to put food on the table. The mother is also now busy, and they leave their children. Worse is that the father is not there most of the time. Most of the parents, even who go abroad, are men. Right now we are seeing the job export. We are exporting men. They leave their boys behind, they leave them with their mother, and so they are growing up with a frustration, desirous to have a role model. He's not there. Desirous to hear the man's voice, it is not there. And that's why we need to actually have this conversation and start working very hard. So where do you find the men? In the dens. If you want to, did you find my boys? Just go to the bars, you'll find them there. That's where they go to comfort one another by just simply drinking and having fun. And then, of course, some of the fathers are there. And so they go to meet them up there. The other place that you'll find them is in prison. And the other place you'll find my boys is in border wards with broken bones. And as he has said, when I was in the office, I went to many prisons. And as you have said, it is right. The boys are full there.
Yeah.
I went to Kiambu, one of the prisons, and I think that clip went round when I was asking them, what are you doing here? And it moved me to tears because a prison that was supposed to be holding 200 was having 980 men packed. like sardines, or I don't know, like a bag of potato filled like that. And all of them, those were fathers, they were brothers to someone, and young people who were supposed to be at work. So when I was asking them what they were doing there, most of them had been caught in the bar, others had been caught with bangi, others have been caught doing all these drugs and all that because of the frustration that the society is actually, then the pressure the society is exerting. And I believe that is one of the areas that we must address and urgently because there is a crisis.
All right. Let's engage the audience now and hear from them. Anyone can just have the microphone, but I think now that you have it, we can start with you. Do you feel like you are seen and heard as a man, and do you think we're doing enough as a society to empower you as men? Or let's say, because you know we have to start from somewhere. It has to start from the boy child, and then the boy child now becomes a man. But do you think we support them, we give you enough support?
Thank you so much. I think it will be worse if I stand. My name is Matthew K. Samuel, the chairperson here, and the youth advocate at the same time. I'm very much glad to be here. First, let me start by saying I have never experienced love in a simple way, just the way mom and psychologists have said. In many cases, masculinity in men, in we as men, is being mistaken with as a way of violence, as a way of poor way of communicating, or all those things. Because recently, things that we men, me as a man, let me talk as an individual, we are experiencing are very much tough. Pressure is very much on us. By 25, the people expect you to have a job, to be driving, to have a good house, at the same time to have a family. So hizi vitu zote unatoa wapi na umetoka kijiji ndio umekuja kuhustle huko mjini. So things are becoming very tough for the men till we reach a point whereby we just decide enough is enough. Let whatever will happen, will happen. But let me put this thing, try to raise something here. A question maybe to mom and psychologists.
All right.
How can we try to differentiate between masculinity and divinity? Because this is one of the things that has been killing many young men. Yeah. Let boys or let men get to realize that being masculine doesn't negate spiritual life in anyone's season. Yeah, if I choose to be masculine, at the same time I should be understanding that I'm created by God. So how can we be aligned to this level whereby we get to realize that anytime we have a problem, anytime we get to engage in these unnecessary things, we can realize that we have a purpose to achieve and a purpose to accomplish. That's number one. Number two, let me speak as the former Secretary General of in a university, because I was the Secretary General at Presbyterian University 2-3 years ago. Many young people at the university level, or many young people at that level, just as the way psychologists have said there, are going through a lot. A lot in which way? Mimi hata mzazi ajui nilisomea university gani, ajui kitu ile anajua ni I graduated. I can't be ashamed to say this, by the way. You get, my dad doesn't know even the course that I took. Unless maybe my mom was a bit more concerned about the same. So Boychild is going through a lot. So if I get to that level whereby no one cares whether you are alive or you are dead, they are only waiting at the top. If you succeed, wakiona kwa TV kidogo, they will clap for you. They will run coming to hug you. But if you go, everything is vanish hapa katikati, no one cares about the same. So they choose to go to these other areas whereby they can find anyone who can just console them na ambie tu we ni shujaa lakini unakunywa mzinga. Next thing you are going to do is to fall there uanguke. Things are becoming tough on your side. So I think that's one of the things that we should put into consideration when we are handling and when we are tackling this thing. Thank you very much.
All right, interesting. And I want us to start from that very particular point, the recent point that he has made, Councillor. Who is dropping the ball? And he's talking about, you know, maybe the parents don't even know the course that he studied in university. Who is dropping the ball? Who is failing these men?
I think one of the biggest things to redress is not to cast guilt and blame. Pastor Dorcas will understand only God can free us from any measure of guilt we heap around ourselves, more so the parents. Because you can't act a role that you've never seen anyone act for you. Some of our parents, they never had role models themselves. They just picked up the scraps they had and decided to work with what they have. So you can't draw water where there's no water. The best you can do, get from a dry well is gravel and sand. So if it is not there, it's not there. So you'd want your parent to be more actively involved in raising and modeling the kind of example you want to imitate. But like he said, you can't absorb completely the responsibility from the father. It is their responsibility to be able to be involved and actively involved in the lives of their children, beyond just paying for school fees, beyond just fending for the family. I have two sons, and I'll use my own example. I have two sons and a daughter. I took note, as much as you pay the school fees, tender to their welfare, feed them, dress them up, there's a particular place that has become so significant and relevant for me. You need to reboot your system and put your digital devices aside as a parent and sit back with your children, not for too long, 20 minutes to the max. That would work. That would be a great start to start from. Where you sit back with your child, individual child, and listen to them without instructing them to do anything, without trying to course correct them about certain things, just to listen to them. You'll be amazed how children break into conversation. Even these young adults, they would want someone listen to them. I'm a counselor. I listen to people. And when you listen to people, they break into conversation. The other day I was entering my office, and the first thing that happened, a young man, I've hardly ever talked to him except to say hi, good morning. He stops me and says, can I talk to you? I'm like, oh yes, you can talk to me. I just opened the door to the office. He stopped me halfway before I would take the second stride inside the office and said, I need help. Before I came to take on this role, I lost 21 of my friends to suicide. And yesterday, one of my best friends also committed suicide. What must I do? I looked at the young man trembling while he's breaking it out into conversation. I probed him just to find out, so how are you yourself? He's like, I'm not okay. I took a flashback that there are times when I was growing up, there are things I went through and I didn't have someone to break into conversation with. By the time a man talks about something, because men are not like women. Women talk. They break into conversation easily when they are going through something. They say, Nico nama stress. I am stressed up. A man will think his thoughts and the woman will not do that. The woman will think the thoughts and will talk about it. But a man will think it and keep on rehearsing it without saying anything about it. So when you hear a man talk about the subject that 21 of my friends have committed suicide and I'm not okay, just take note. He's been thinking about the same thing. So I told him a few things he needs to consider. One, you can't give what you don't have in you. If you're at a workplace and you're not okay, they require excellence in the way you administrate and steward whatever gift they require of your skill set that brings you to that office. So you can't give it to your best if you're not fine. I told him, you need to look for a counselor. No, quite right now you can't even afford one. So I recommended a few places we can find them. I'm very proud to make mention of a few. If you know of the Ridgeways Baptist, please, there's free counseling available if you ever need them. they've talked to me and asked me, if you have someone who's going through serious mental illnesses and issues, you should come and seek free counseling. Park University works alongside with Sitam Assembly, Thika Road. So if anyone needs help, you can access that help free. You don't need to pay for it. Because it's hard also to access a counselor to talk to you about that. But also if you have a relative, it could be a distant relative, but they can listen to you. Sometimes as a young man, you need to find someone who's in close proximity with you as a young lady to talk to listen to you. 20 minutes is a good start. Who drops the ball? It's usually the father. You can't absolve them of that responsibility. Because some of the things that we are crying for, or the young men are crying for, do you value me? Can you listen to me? Do you like me? Can I find help from you? Those are the few things that many young men are looking for. Do you value me? And I think we need to place a huge premium and value on young men.
All right. Now the question will be, are they voicing them out loud for the fathers and the people who are there to help them to listen and actually be there to help them? Just hold on to that thought. Let's take a very short break at this particular point. You're watching Morning Cafe. The conversation you're having this morning is the role of the boy child. Stay with us. We'll be back in a short while.
Our world is changing every day, and so should we, for the better. Each week, we tackle the big why, the question that should be on everyone's minds. Why isn't this fixed yet? Deforestation, global warming, and the adverse effects of climate change. The future isn't just something that we inherit, it's something that we create. Join us on The Green Fix as we tell the stories of those who refuse to give up. When it comes to fixing the planet, there is no time to waste. Join me, Shiksha Arora, on Thursdays at 9 p.m.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. We are in Karen once again at the residence of former Deputy President Rigathi. This morning, we are talking about the role of the boy child. If you're just joining us for this particular conversation, we have Pastor Dorcas Rigathi and, of course, our Councillor Richard Ziwe Zimbalist. And just to remind you, we do have our audience here on set as well to help us drive this particular conversation. And before we went on that very short break, the councillor here brought about a very, very important point, that for these parents, it's also their first time being parents, it's also their first time living. So if we are looking at it from that particular angle, Your Excellency, do you think it's possible to rebuild that trust when these now boys have become men with their parents? You know, when they're sitting down with them and telling them, you know, that Mom, Dad, you failed me. I feel like you failed me in this particular point in life. Do you feel like it's possible to restore that trust?
I think it is very possible. Everything in life, has to be very intentional and very deliberate. Every parent, when you decide you are going to have children, it's a decision you make. And it has responsibility, and we are accountable. And we cannot be too busy destroying what we are trying to build. And as families, family values must start now coming to the center, and people starting to play as a father and a mother. Those two titles are very serious titles, because when you are called a mother, you are supposed to nurture, you are supposed to make sure that everything is nurtured and it lives according to the divine order. The father too has a responsibility, because you are not only a one who dispenses a seed and then after that you just want to other people to take care of. And I'm not going to blame the parents so much. It is maybe the way of life, the society and the community. Everybody was meant to be a villager, by the way. And the moment we got off the village setup, everything went haywire. You see, we are striving to have a global village, even where they are. Why the village? The village had its own mechanism. When the father and the mother were not there, there were aunties, there were grandmothers that gave that support system to the children. They would discipline your children when you are not there. It is not the same as today. We have moved to the urban centers where everybody is for themselves and God for us all. You don't even know your neighbor. You do not have anyone you can speak to because everybody is busy. Everybody is trying to make money. But I believe that we can still go back to the basics, because the children are crying. You have heard the cry of my son Matthew there. What they are crying for is not money. What they are crying for is not big houses. What they are crying for is not big cars. What they are crying for is love. Love can only be given freely. It is not bought. Any love that is bought is actually lust, and it never pays anybody, and it is never satisfies. But that love of affection where you can just have an ear to your child speaking. Because to whom should this boy cry, if not to the father and if not to the mother?
That's right.
If they go to the society out there, the kind of opinions that people have will not even help to make that person. And therefore we must have time as parents. We must have time as mothers. We must have time as uncles to surround these children with love that they are requiring. In any case, I've just been looking the way they dress. They dress very scantily. They want even torn jeans. They walk with the very simple sandals. And perhaps if we were to give the greater love, we could model them to good people. And my son Matthew here wanted to know about this masculinity and divinity.
Right, the issue of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, many people, they keep talking about, I don't know how many packs and all this. Every man wants to look a certain figure and all this, and the opinions of people are as many as the people are. I would urge the boys, my sons out there, do not be pressured by the opinions of people. You are not defined by the figure. You are not defined by how you look on the face. The human being has a soul, has a spirit, and has a body. Now this body is just a casement that is carrying the bigger part and the substance. And that is the divinity, where your purpose is planted, where your dream, where your vision is. And what you should put your mindset on is your dream, and pursue your vision. Make sure it is your mission every day. Do not care about what people say, because they are going to speak. Whether you are successful or unsuccessful, they are going to speak.
All right, so it's better to ignore.
You ignore them and pursue your dream. And also associate with people who can be able to celebrate your masculinity, positive one.
All right, let's bring in the councillor as well for that particular point still, and this issue of the problem that is toxic masculinity. How much of this is cultural wiring versus vis-a-vis education and sensitization? Because one may argue that, you know, the society has the men boxed in a particular way that they should behave, their role in society, they should be strong, they should not cry. So how should we be wiring the society to just be men, to tell them that men should be men, they're just children, just as the girls are?
Thank you. I think, like I said earlier, emphasis places importance on the point. You cannot ignore the role of fathers, because everything rises and falls on leadership. The leadership of a father in any home structures the direction of the children. And if a father abdicates his responsibility, someone must be able to pick it up to help the young men. Because there are social influences that we have, especially the advent of this generation, Generation Z, and there's Y and there's Alpha coming up. They're so affected by the things they see online. And our fathers never had even access to any of these social media platforms. And much of the people who influence them are the ones who speak into their lives. So guess who is speaking into their lives? You'll be amazed how much time this generation spends time to listen to. Who do you listen to? You'll be amazed. A quick hand, you'll hear someone say, Messi speaks to me, Ronaldo speaks to me. But what does Ronaldo show off when he takes off his shirt? His muscles, his packs. He hasn't even said anything. So many of the young men spend a lot more time in a gym than they will spend reading a book.
All right.
So in a place where you find yourself vulnerable, I think it's good to leverage on outsourcing help that is going to meet that particular need in your life that is lacking. Find some resourceful materials that you can glean off to help in that area. If it is being a man, who can you read from that can help in that area your father is lacking on? If there are people that you should be able to imitate and follow after, who are those people that you can identify in your sphere of influence that you can imitate? And there are many. They're out there. You can find them.
All right. Let's hear from our ladies now. I see one here has a microphone just right next to me. But do you feel like the boy child in your life, say your brother, your friend, your classmate, do you feel like you're giving them the right support that they need?
Okay, my name is Wanjiku Abigail Mburu. Mburu is my dad, and
You can
speaking.
just stand up. Yes, Abigail.
Yes, my name is Wanjiku Abigail Mburu. Mburu is my dad, and speaking of the boy child, I want to recognize my dad. Thank you so much. Yes. For me, I can say, okay, I'm also a counseling psychologist. For me, I can say they support, but I can say the support is not as the need. The need is greater than the support which is being delivered. And it is not because we as the girl child have refused to give the support. No. It is because also we have not been trained how to give the support, because we have been brought up in a way that we should depend on the boy child. We should look up to them and not us supporting them. Yeah. So I think, and also the issue of being a threat to the boy child. Yeah. So we relent from doing that. Also had a question I would want to ask. Being a biblical and history enthusiast, yes, I'm born again. I want to direct this question to our mom. Looking at the Bible, we can identify cases where the boy child's life were being threatened. We can take a look at the life or at the time of Moses. Yeah, the boy child was to be killed. In the time of Jesus, the boy child was to be killed. Do you think the issue of the boy child being eliminated or not being, the issue of the boy child not being tackled, do you think it's also a spiritual issue that people should also consider? Then the second question that I would want to, the second aspect of history that I would also want us to look at is, looking at history. I did history in high school. We were taught that when the European came and they were taking slaves, they used to take the men who wenye walikuwa na muscles. Yeah. So do you think also it is a new world order, only that it is now sugar-coated or now has taken a different angle, in that it is not the physical slavery, but it is slavery in drug abuse, slavery in crime, slavery in gambling? Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, Abigail. You've asked a very long question. Let's keep it short and sweet. And I see Dr. Pale, a vet, has the microphone. Talk to us about some of the challenges that you see the boys having that are not being addressed.
Thank you for the opportunity. Your Excellency, Pastor Dorcas, thank you for hosting us. And I want to recommend your continuous reaffirmment and championing the boy-child grievances and showing that we are heard. So another thing is I want to commend you on the way you are trying this conversation to be biblically oriented and Christ-centered, rather Christ-centered and biblically oriented. So I want to start with the recent photo for a meme, or rather, I don't know how exposed you are to the online content and so on, but I believe these Gen Zs, a lot of most of the time they spend it on their phones. So there is this image that we serviced over the week of a man who was roasting maize and a woman was roasting maize. So both of them, they were roasting maize, but the woman was labeled as an hardworking woman, yet the man was labeled as a poor man. So we are living in a dispensation where men, we are defined by our ability to provide, and under the current socioeconomic needs and whatever, we have been labeled on how big we can access the bigger economics opportunities. So on this, I want to say that so a person like me, let's say I'm not yet employed, I'm a vet doctor, I'm not yet employed. So if I start roasting maize, there will be this stereotyping that a doctor is roasting maize and something of the kind. So in hustling, this hustling thing has been gendered. We know back in the traditional days, we understand that ladies or other girls were industrious in their homes. That they were active in taking care of their homes, maybe in the farms and other things. And we boys, we were expected to be in bigger economical activities and something of the kind, having bigger jobs and having more money in that case.
Allow me to cut you short.
Yes.
I think in simple terms, due to the interest of time, your question is about hustling being very much gendered and how we can address that particular issue, right?
So mine is true that we stop being hustling should not be gendered.
Okay.
Because poverty has no gender, success has no gender, and so if a man does one, if a girl and a boy is doing the same hustle,
right,
it should be equalized.
Okay.
Not that being maybe roasting. Let me use that photo. Roasting maize, a girl child roasting maize and a man roasting maize should not be gendered.
All right.
Yes.
He's championing for equality. Very nice. Thank you so much, Daktari. But let's get into the question that Abigail asked. That is this issue more of a spiritual connotation? What do you think?
Well, life is actually spiritual. As I said, there is only one body, and then there is a soul and the spirit. So the soul and the spirit are more than the body. And what you see happening around you has something to do with the spirit of a person. And if you look what is happening to the boy child across the nations, it can tell you it is a new world order, where they are trying to reorder and to redirect what was originally the divine order to be a man's order. A man's order, not the boy child, but the world order that we are trying to create. Number one, you cannot disconnect the spirit and man. But when you look at the way the man is being directed, we raise the standard of a girl, while we were supposed to have the divine order is you have male and female working side by side, helping one another so that they can complement one another and produce families with values that are okay. But in the world order today, if you go to the colonial times, I'm a student of history as well, what happened is that they took the strong men and they left the women at home with their families. And that developed another culture where the women became now the breadwinners and the nurturers and everything. So by the time that the men came back, the women had already taken over and they had that capacity now. They felt that they could do what the men could do. But let me tell you, there is no one time that you are going to have a woman doing what a man does. A woman has her role, has her purpose. A man has her role and her purpose. If today you have children, you'll find that we will draw from both to become complete and to have the confidence that they need. And therefore what we are saying, you can see it is expressed by men showing the, you know, their masculinity by drinking and being violent and showing that, you know, they are men. They are trying to prove themselves. My husband always says, a tiger does not pronounce its aggressiveness. It is supposed to work within its environment. Other people, they know it is a tiger. But you see now the insecurity that has been put on our young men. They are competing to be able to show that they are on top there, on the top of the range. They talk a lot, sometimes not by voicing it, but you find them, they are trying to compete by buying big cars when actually they should be striving to be fathers. So they are taking their time and they are not getting into marriage, they are not getting into investment, they are investing in the wrong things. And therefore what I'm saying, it is a spiritual thing. You find that they are drug barons who have really worked very hard to make sure they destroy their dreams and then destroy their future.
Okay. And
so let me just advise the men out there. Do not compete with anybody. Money may be an answer for all things, but it is not everything. Compete with yourself, have a mindset that settles you, calms you, and pursue your dream. Forget about all these things. Do not drink to be able to overcome those insecurities. Face the challenges, and I'm telling you, you'll come out great.
Great, amazing. Councillor Abigail also brought in a very important point, that the support is there for the men in her life, right? But now the question is, how do we give the boy child support? It's a question that she asked. How would you respond to that?
I think that the simple ABCs in life. Open your mouth and talk to your sons. I was picking my son from school yesterday. While driving to the school, I saw another young man being chased by 5 other men coming from a sports betting house. And you know what happened in sports betting. Most likely, he walked away with their money. So they're all chasing the man, and the man is running frantically in panic for fear of what could happen. So other men are joining in to grab the man. It was a scary sight. When I left that place, I picked my son and I asked him a few things. I said, how was your day? What did you like? And what did you enjoy when you're at school? I didn't have to say anything more from that moment. He began to talk. So when we got home, I hugged him and said, I'm proud of you. Many young men, all they need is to hear the father say, I'm proud of you. Men need to open their voice and talk. A mother can say that, but a father says it better. Because there's a way in our cultural setting, many women have muted the voice of a man in a home. But the voice of a man in a home gives direction to children, especially the young man. So if you allow a man to speak over to the man in the house, in an environment, believe me, they'll get clarity of direction and they'll be more purposeful the way they lead their lives as a result of men. So, Abigail, that is a good observation. Men are an endangered species from the Bible times all the way to the colonial times. And needs must be. We rise up to the occasion to redress what has gone wrong and fix that which is broken if we can. And I think we can have some course correction by men rising up to the responsibility to give guidance and direction to the men around us.
All right, and creating space, right?
Yeah.
All right, I see another microphone there. You have a question or feedback? You can take up.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm Robert Omondi Ogire, former Secretary General, University of Nairobi, and the current member of Brotherhood of Men Association. Okay, I would, for the interest of time, I would have just start with gender equality is the epitome of all these things. As we had joined the 21st century. And by this, I would rather ask Pastor Dorcas that due to gender inequality, as labor and specialization changed from the traditional African society to the modern society, and by that brings a question of position of men in the society. Position of men in the society is leadership. We should not deviate from that. And leadership, even in the current world, the modern world, we still have leadership to be portrayed by a man in the society. And even our sisters here can affirm it.
All right.
And for that reason, it brings a question of man is the point of reference. And even in the current society, men are the point of reference. And if men are the point of reference, currently we are viewing a boy child in the society, successful or not successful. But to our sisters here, our sisters view us, a successful man will be viewed in a positive way, but unsuccessful man will be viewed in a negative way. But they view it this way. A successful man is that one who has bought some big machine. But unsuccessful man is that one who has come from the university, the transition, I better say it's university, the current world, the life moment, the hustling moment. And for that reason, there is no lady who will love a man without a roof. And there is no lady who will love a man who is not a breadwinner. And by that point of interest, gender equality is the epitome of all the challenges. And for that, what is the solution are we going to put in to curb all this? Thank you.
All right, interesting. The issue of gender equality is an issue for gentleman here, Bruce. What do you think about that? Do you think it's one of the issues that is leading to some of the challenges that men are facing in the society today?
Yeah. We have spoken this, my son, now. I'm going to speak to it at that time. Male and female, God created them equal and gave them equal chance and equal time. Now the mindset that we are going to have as men and women is going to drive our future. Decisions that we make, the hard work we put, the company we keep, and the way we look at things. Because there must be a paradigm shift for the boy child now. Because you are shaped every day by what people say, how people view you, and that now puts too much pressure that you lose your dream trying to pursue the opinions of men. So a man is not defined by the car you drive, by the way you dress. A man and a leader, as you are aspiring to be, a leader, as you have heard my brother here, Richard, speaking, he's saying it rises and falls with leadership. Leadership also has accountability and has a responsibility. And any leader, any father, any covering of a family must understand this. And for you to go out there, do not even think about how the girls are talking about big cars, you know, those mean machines that they are running after. If you are trying to buy a car, before you have been able to stabilize, and to invest so that that car can come. Prioritize your thing, plan your life. Do not think of those mean machines I see, because I see them. When my sons were growing up, let me just tell you this because it is very important. I took care of my boys when they were young. But when they were growing up and they got to age 14, 15, I used to hang out with them. Then they changed. They started closing the door on me. They didn't want me to venture into their territory, which was still in my house. They closed themselves in there, and when I come, I have to knock, I have to ask for permission, because they were growing into that young man who is going to be a father. The next thing I told them, because they also want to grow up, to project yourself as a man, as a leader, as a covering, and a man who is going to be responsible, a father who is going to take care of our children, a husband who is going to take care of your wife, you must start assuming that responsibility by being very accountable to the decision that you are making. I told them, immediately you leave your university, that gate you are seeing there will become a place where I ask, who is that coming? I will allow you to stay here only when you are in school. After that, you are going to get a job, you are going to start working, and you are going to start having your own home, and that is what happened. It was a very hard decision for me, but actually the person who came up with that plan was the father. Said they can't stay here, then they bring their girlfriends here, then they start being taken care of here, they cannot change. So for a man to become a real man, you know, there are husbands who are boys, there are leaders who are boys. You have to grow from boyhood. That is what a woman is looking for, where you can come and that leadership you are talking about, it cannot be given to you. You grow into it, you mature into it. And how do you grow and mature into it? You are growing into it by simply being accountable. Do not think about what others are doing. When we got married with my husband, we were very young. And he had to provide and he had to give direction.
Right.
We worked very hard. He was bringing the potatoes, I was peeling them and making crisps, and he would go to sell. So there must be shared responsibility. You must think of how you are going to invest yourself for your family, for your wife, for yourself first, for your family, for your wife, and you will see that things are going to start working round.
Right.
But thinking about just having a Mercedes, I don't know, Range Rover, I don't know, Porsche, and you have not even invested a dime.
It's neither here nor there. Let's hear, as we wind up this particular conversation. I've been told we are out of time. But now, what is the call to action? Let's start with you, Councillor, in 1 minute.
Mama Boys has said it extremely well, and I can't say it better than the way she said it. We're looking for a dignified future for the young man. If there is anything that you can take home, responsibility and accountability is critical for all men to rise up to the opportunity to raise a well-rounded man. For fathers who are listening in and mothers who are listening in, these young people who are seated here, they are a representation of one thing. They are sitting next to their potential in-law. If we raise them right, your daughter will be happy. Let's do it right.
All right, and finally, Your Excellency, in 1 minute, what is your call to action?
My call to action is meant to have a different mindset, have control of your own life, know what your dream is, and pursue it. Do not be distracted. Invest in time. Do not waste it. Invest in good company. And what you want to see, surround yourself with the people who have been there so that they will be able to come. There are men who have come from single parenthood, where you are being brought up, maybe, unfortunately, the father is not here, and you are from a single parenthood. There, you have uncles, you have churches. Go and try to relate with a man who can celebrate you in a positive way and who can guide you. And that will be able to bring your environment into a place where you can grow and become the leader you aspire to be. It is my joy to see men who grow and who smile, you know, like now, even look. Very few smile. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. That is Mama Boys, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, and of course our Councillor Richard Ziwe Zimbalis. Thank you so much for helping us understand more about the role of the boy child in the society and for welcoming us in your home. And we hope that you'll welcome us again to have another conversation. Maybe this time we'll be back to talk about the role of the girl child. Are we welcome?
Yes.
All right.
Anytime.
All right, thank you so much to our audience as well for being here and for being part of this conversation. As you've heard, tumekaribishwa tena, so we are hoping that next time we'll be here to have another conversation one more time. Thank you so much for watching. That brings us to the end of this conversation, the role of the boy child in the society. My name is Anne Odida. Good morning.